Catholic school teachers in Cincinnati are quitting their jobs after the Archdiocese of Cincinnati asked them to sign, or demanded that they sign, a new morality clause as part of their contracts. So the morality clause would ask them to do the following. They would have to avoid living with a partner, usually a partner of the same sex, having sex outside of marriage, using in vitro fertilization, living a gay lifestyle, or publicly supporting any of the things listed above. Now, one of the teachers who actually quit as a result of this morality clause is a woman by the name of Molly Shumate, or Shumate. And the reason why she quit is because her son is actually gay. And so she was basically given that ultimatum. Either you reject your son or you lose your job. And so she decided, you know what, I don't want to work here anymore. This is absolutely ridiculous. Now, here's an important thing to keep in mind. Obviously, they're discriminating against specific groups of people. They do so because they consider themselves a religious organization, and these religious schools get to do that. But what I never understand is why they get tax-exempt status while they get to discriminate against all these different people. And these schools are tax-exempt.
So this issue is confusing, mainly because of that reason. Computer teacher Krista Diaz, who is single, used in vitro fertilization and was then fired by the Archdiocese. She won $170,000 in damages from a jury. I don't get it. So if they're a religious organization, I think they should be allowed to discriminate. Mm-hmm. I'm 100% against the discrimination, but it's not my organization. And it's a free country. Now, the counter argument to it's a free country is, well, then you shouldn't be tax exempt.
100%.
Right.
100%.
Right.
Pay your taxes.
So I disagree with everything here. I don't think she should have won the money, but I also think that they shouldn't be tax exempt. And so the people who have quit in protest, I love them. You know, they're making a good, bold, principled stand and saying this is, not the right way to conduct things. It's not what Jesus would have done. You know, they have a different interpretation of the Bible, that Jesus was open-hearted, washed the feet of prostitutes, etc., and was not judgmental like that, but was more welcoming. Mm-hmm. So that's great. But if the institution, didn't have that governmental advantage of being tax exempt, then I would say, yeah, sure, they could fire those people. Yeah.
Well, the frustrating thing about this is I feel like every year there's something new added to the list that pisses religious people off. Like, why is in vitro fertilization a big deal? Like, let's say you have a married couple, they're having a hard time conceiving, so they go get help in order to have a baby. Like, really, you're going to get involved in their personal lives and tell them, no, we're pro-life, but in this case, this married couple cannot have a child? Get out of their personal lives, man. Let them do what they need to do. It's so stupid. And also, how do you enforce something like this? How do you get involved? Do you go into their homes and say, oh my God, you are living with a partner? Like, do you figure out whether or not they're having premarital sex and fire them based on that?
A dean of students at another Cincinnati Catholic high school was fired last year for writing on his personal blog that he supports same-sex marriage. I mean, these guys are up in your business, they're in your blogs, they're in your Twitter account, they may be even in your bedroom. And think about the in vitro fertilization. Now, if you're really religious, I don't care how fundamentalist you are, you really think Jesus talked about in vitro fertilization? Come on, you can't possibly believe that. Obviously, it didn't exist at the time. It's obviously the interpretation of some later dude who's just a dude.
But
okay.
why is that dude so against in vitro fertilization?
Who can keep up? They're against everything, man. They're like, you're looking to have fun in any way, shape, or form. They're like, gay lifestyle. Okay. By the way, what is the gay lifestyle? Like, is it watching
Go to
too many...
West Hollywood, you'll find out.
Is it watching too many Broadway shows? Now, look, this is insanity. And of course, oftentimes it'll come from the same people who tell us that they hate big government. Do they? Do they?
By the way, interesting statistic, 70% of the private schools in this country are religious private schools, and about 20% of them are Catholic.
Yeah. So, and I've got to give one more credit here to, and it's an ironic one, to Roger Rosen. He teaches French and Latin at the same high school, and he was valedictorian there, etc. And he did not resign along with some of the other principled people. Mm-hmm. And they said, why didn't you? And he said, I'm a coward. He said, I needed the money. He said, isn't that terrible?
I like his honesty.
Yeah, it immediately made me love Roger Rose.
Yeah.
He's like, well, what can I do? Born a coward.
Yeah.
Needed the money. Okay. And he says, but it's wrong. It's wrong. And the people who did quit are wonderful people.
Yeah.
Okay, so God bless the courageous people, especially in this case, Molly Shumate, who stuck up for her son and did the right thing in the face of all this pressure and losing her job.
Yep.